So, I'm just picking up the review from the Stang Boy Gears. I haven't done an update in a while, but what I wanted to do is do another RTA, but what I've done is I've relooped the stick, I've sanded down all the edges, I've basically just tried to make the surfaces as smooth as they are. I mean, they already look super smooth, but what I really wanted to do is just do another couple of runs, do like an RTA, nothing serious, of just me seeing what I can do with them now, seeing if anything's changed. I mean, they still feel more plasticky, and I mean, the response feels nice. There is a slight bit of resistance there, which could probably be mitigated by another type of lubricant. Maybe super lube isn't the best form, but maybe needs a kind of more slicker lube. But let's just do a run. See, it's not the nicest feel. Like, I feel like I do have to push a little bit further to start the small movements. I think that the bigger it's difficult, because the way I can describe it is it's just the sensitivity isn't there that I'd want out of some gears. You know, just for kind of clarification, playing with OEM, everything else, and it's like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. The OEM, way really good. I think the thing is that with other gears, especially if they're injection molded, just the surface of it is just a lot more smooth, and I don't know, maybe these gears would be suited to something that's metal. So that didn't feel too bad. I mean, like I said, like these aren't actually the worst gears to play with, and I think I could get used to them. But I think my major gripe right now is the fact that they just feel a bit sluggish, really. Like, they don't feel as quick or as snappy, especially with OEM being the way that OEM is. I just feel like it's kind of lacking that really quick, sharp movement. Rude. Wow, a 5 booster on runway. The runway felt pretty good there. But it is just like that kind of that beginning movement, that the initial push. On OEM, you can be rest assured that when you do it at the start, like when you start pushing a little bit, you also move a little bit. But with this, you had to put in that extra little bit of effort to make that movement. It doesn't seem to be much of a problem for up or down, but left and right, there is definitely like a discrepancy there. Up and down movement feels very, very, very nice. I just don't like the left and right movement. I mean, again, it's not the worst, and I think you could get used to these parts. I don't think this is a bad product. I just think that it may need to be tweaked. And I don't know if it's like a different lubrication methods needed for these, or quite simply, it's just down to the materials they're made out of. Not the worst run in the world, but there you go. Generally though, they do what you want to do, and that's the best thing about these. I think if you just needed a quick set to put in your controller, you can do it. It's a terrible run. I thought I got the cam out. Again, nothing remarkable. This is a real test here, Silo. Silo is a true test of parts because it requires dedicated big movement and also tiny little adjustments. Okay, let's go. How did he not walk there? Weird. If they're too slow, then push it. Should open it. Hello. Again, what I'm getting from these is like a rubber bandy effect. It doesn't feel. It feels a bit stiff. Maybe you can break these in over time. You can break these in over time and then feel better over time. I think you could get used to these, but it is stiff going left and right, up and down feels freaking good though. I mean, it feels freaking good. I'm gonna YOLO this, just because. Please leave. Oh, that's bad news. That's bad news. That was a really weird throw. I'm glad it worked. We'll just end it there. I'm not gonna wait around for hours. That felt okay. The left and right movement, again, you expect a certain response, but you don't really get it as much. But saying that, because I would argue that the consistency looking left and right is there. Not to say I like how like stiff and that I don't particularly like the response I'm getting. That is not to say that these aren't consistent, because they are consistent. Up and down is consistent, and left and right is consistent. And I think this is something you can get used to, but I'm more used to a sort of fluid stick. So I look like left and right and the sensitivity is quite high, but it's, at the end of the day, it's personal preference. Speed run much. Well, yeah, at the end of the day, it's personal preference. Somebody might really like that it's slightly stiffer going left and right, so they have that feeling. But I am personally I like it a bit looser. Whoa. Oh my god. Warp. Why aren't we warping here? There we go. I think that's the correct guard. It might not be the correct guard. Again, that level come down to... I rescued Nat, didn't I? Oh, you need the tape, don't you? Okay, this gives me another chance to redeem myself from here. I suppose I can still go this way. Slightly better, but... that wasn't bad. It's just, yeah, the left and right doesn't feel particularly fantastic. What could I say? This will be a good test of it, just because, like, due to the movement you need to do and... It's actually not that bad once you get used to it. You kind of get used to what to expect. Okay, this is what's really going to come into play here. That wasn't that bad. It was actually quite controlled, which I enjoyed. That was weird. Oh my gosh, controlling spawning guards here. I think on the one hand, because it is quite sluggish, moving left and right, you actually have more of a semblance of control. You don't overturn, which isn't actually the worst thing in the world here. I mean, especially for quite precise games, I think, at least myself, has a tendency to overcompensate, especially if I feel like I'm about to clutch. And I get nervous. I'm gonna be so late for this. I'd laugh if the FR was actually here. Nah. I mean, overall, I think these aren't too bad. I feel like the sanding, I was gonna say 215, that's literally impossible. I'd say the sanding did actually help a little bit, but I mean, the dead zone, there is like literally hardly any. It's a bit left and right, none up and down. This should be amusing. Literally just completely forgotten how to play Archives. Oh, okay. Oof. I was cranking then. Oh, God. Bloody finally. Oh, I can't even do the shot movement. Oh my God. I could hit those tight movements in the library, but it was hard. It was like I was properly cranking on it then to get that movement out of it. For levels where there's lots of long straights and you need to have that tighter movement, it's not actually too bad to use. Obviously, I'm not playing amazingly well because I haven't played Streets properly in months. Not okay, that's actually a lie. In like a month or so. But I really get it down about it. I think you can get used to these. It does feel a little bit jarring coming from, because I'm currently playing on a 10 out of 10 at the moment. It does feel a little bit jarring just because of how fluid the movement is up and down and left and right. See, the up and down movement on these is so good. And I don't know why it's not translating. Which is a shame as well, because this could be these gears could actually be such good replacements if the left and right movement felt tight. Well, felt fluid. Maybe not tight, but fluid. Okay, depot. Oh, see, that little movement I did at the beginning should be enough to turn me around all the way, but it's not. I might actually reset this to see how much in comparison, how much movement I need to do on the stick in comparison to what I normally do. You need to, oh my God. You need to put in a lot more effort into your turns. Like, properly crank them to the side of the, to the bowl. That's hard. Yeah, that turn I was cranking the entire way. Very, okay. This is it. This is a very good test as well. still stuck in the garden here. Insane, I managed to do those locks in time. That's the thing. It wasn't actually bad doing those locks. But even so, you need speed doing them. Hey, what's up, Sushilaga? So I'm currently, this is my part 2 of my Stang Boy, I believe, N64 gears. What I've done is I've actually sanded down the gears a bit on all the edges, mostly in the slot where the stick fits, and on top of the gears. And I'm just kind of I'm basically doing another test. The main thing, I think these are actually quite solid gears, but the main thing for me that I'm struggling with is when you look left and right, it's the sensitivity isn't there. I'm not very good at jungle, so forgive my I'm gonna grab the BA because I don't know how to play jungle properly yet. I'm the jungle noob. Where is it? Need more ammo. It's quite good, that one. If you're doing AR strats on this level, you can shoot through that guard. Yeah, so I just did a light sanding. Nothing too, like, insane. Oh, what? That is rude. I'm getting that stuff bad. Do not use this run as a judge of my playing skill. I haven't played jungle even in match play in so long. As soon as I learn how to play jungle properly, my RTA time's gonna go way down. I'm not gonna. I'll do a control run. So yeah, I think the main takeaways is that I think these gears are good, but the left and right resistance is a real issue for me, especially as well. Like, I'm as a gamer and speedrunner, I would say I'm like in a more older bracket of it, and I need to personally pay attention to like RSI, if my wrists or hands are being strained when I'm playing. When I've got the deluxe pillow and everything, but at the end of the day, I need to make sure that the stick I'm playing on is comfortable and smooth and offers literally like no resistance. Looking up and down these is so good. It feels so smooth, like it feels like OEM. But looking left and right, look how slow it is compared to it. When you hit maximum speed, you're like, I don't know. It's just I don't feel like it's good enough. Maybe if there are those with stronger hands, they may get used to these a bit better. But that's helpful. I'm so bad at control, I don't know how to play it properly. Again, another level I've yet to learn. Didn't even get a smash blast there, that's super, super helpful. This isn't helpful finally, Jesus. Right, one mine left. Oh my god, where am I? Didn't even get it. No. So that's fine. The movement on there, it felt okay, actually. I think you could definitely take control of those parts, like cabins. Now, this is a very important level for movement, just because how tight you need to be to get any points on this. Like 102, for example, very fun level to play, but unless your movement is really, really good and sharp, oh my god, I can't even get out of here. I'll still be tried, I think. Oh god, I can't even do that. I'm going to start this again. So usually at the beginning bit, there's a little lip in the elevator you need to kind of push through. But usually you could just go around it really, really easily. But with these, because of the amount of movement that you have to do going left and right, it's not comfortable to do it. That was better. I know I'm not doing the laws. Oh my god. You see how wide that turn was? Luckily, I got through there with relative ease. Finally. Going up spiral, not too bad. I'm doing the curved method rather than the typical graduated method. I don't even know if that's even called that, but the thing is, I really overcompensated there, and this is something that you get to learn with years if you do end up purchasing them, is you need to just like adapt your playstyle. Not, again, not bad, but certainly like not the best. I mean, a 110 is decent, but yeah, those left and right movements are key in GoldenEye. Like, they're actually probably the most important movements in the whole game. Like, being able to look left and right consistently is so important. And yes, they are consistent when moving left and right. But in terms of... that movement was okay. Yeah, whatever, it's done. That was okay. Getting at the bottom of the stairs right before you tread felt fine. Aztec. No, this one has some tight movement requirements. I wonder how we do. Didn't work. The beginning bit felt okay, but again, it's just a hard left right move. I think at this point it's kind of clear how I feel about these. I think maybe these are like the mid 70s. I don't think I can give these an 80 just because how... These are not very straightforward with these gears, because consistently they're very good. The up and down movement is very consistent. Oh my god, but look at that. You can't even do those tight movements that are required for this. I somehow managed to do that properly. I think I was a little bit low there, actually. There he is. That should have been a hit. Yeah, it was. No doubt. Perfect hit there on the Bazza. What? Oh, I must have hit the gun or something. Okay, so overall, I think the gears are okay. I think you can put these in your controller if yours are running a bit low, and they won't do you much wrong. I do feel like one of the biggest negatives is the resistance looking left and right. It's not very smooth. I mean, yeah, it's not very smooth. It feels like I'm pushing to move left and right, even with me sanding down the parts to make them a little bit looser. I still feel like I am going basically every direction apart from up and down. It's like okay, I need to go this way. Okay, I need to go this way. I need to like push harder left, right, push harder right, and it's difficult when you're trying to make fine movements. I think these are very solid gears, though. I mean, I may buy a pair if I really needed a replacement, but I would pick injection mold stuff over this. Maybe different printer materials needed, maybe a different lubricant is needed to really make these shine. I think anywhere between 75 and 80, depending on who you are. If we are comparing it directly to OEM, so I'm comparing these directly to OEM. I'm not like, I'm not comparing them to like N64 gears. I'm not comparing them to, you know, Elmo's brass gears. I'm not comparing them to anything but OEM. It's like, so this is a 10 out of 10 OEM, and in comparison, it does feel like, I mean, the difference is night and day. In comparison to OEM, it's crunchier, it's nowhere near as smooth. It's almost like the lubricant isn't smooth enough for it. Yeah, it's not sharp, it's not snappy, it doesn't have that. So yeah, anywhere between 75 and 80, I don't think, I feel like that's incredibly fair. Solid replacements, but you know, again, OEM is better. Jury's still out on shapeways, which I need to do a big old write up for, because I managed to get some parts off there before A Link to Tails got removed. But yeah, I think that's my verdict. Anyway, between 75 and 80, I need to write it up, review the information, and we'll go from there. Cool.